Welcome back to Pixels for People 2023, guys. We have a little Chill Dragoon marathon coming up next with 3 different runs. And first in line, we have Escape from Bug Island Redemption Arc Percent. So, whenever you're ready, Chill, take it away.
Sounds good. Hi everyone, this is Escape from Bug Island. I'll get into it in just a little bit here. First thing that we want to do is go in, make sure that the screen brightness is turned all the way up because this is a dark game. Yeah, we'll go to new game. We'll start on easy. And then time will start when the loading screen stops, basically. But yeah, so this is a survival horror game released in Japan as Necronesia, released in the US as Escape from Bug Island. It was developed by Spike, which later became part of Spike Chunsoft. Why is my time? There we go. Okay. Everything's good. But yeah, so basically it's about a group of friends that go to an island and there are bugs there, if you were surprised. But yeah, we're going to skip the beginning tutorial. But yeah, there's 3 friends. It's Ray, Mike, and Michelle. Ray has the hots for Michelle, so he decides to come with her on this expedition to an island that is known for mysterious ruins and stuff, and because she wants to find out more about it. And then Mike is a jerk, knows that Ray has the hots for Michelle, but still tries to go after her anyways, and then they go off and leave Ray by himself. And so he wonders, hey, where are my friends at? After a few hours, and yeah, so we're going to go find them. We do have a flashlight, but you will not see me use the flashlight too often because using it in certain areas summons a swarm of instant death insects, and we don't want that. So we're just going to be running around in the dark. Going to be skipping a few cutscenes here. The first one basically just summons a bunch of small insects. These ones we don't really have to worry about. Skippy. There we are. The next one will be summoning a bunch of flying fish, which we also hopefully don't have to worry too much about. Just gotta do a little bit of light dodging. But yeah, so anyways, the game is for the Wii. It's got a little bit of like waggle controls and motion controls, unfortunately, but overall it's not too bad. Gameplay is pretty easy. When you want to attack with a melee weapon, you just hold down the B button and then swipe. And then if you're using a gun or a ranged weapon, you just point at the screen, hit the A button to bring up the first person view, and then you hold down B or you just tap B to shoot if you're shooting a gun. But if you're throwing rocks, you just hold down B and swipe as well. So we're coming to the Grove area, and the first like big normal enemy shows up here. We're going to be fighting, well, not fighting, seeing a praying mantis, and then we're just going to run away from it because we're scared. Run away. Alright, one thing that kind of stinks about the Grove area, there are 8 different, basically, potholes that you can fall into, but they're really hard to see. They're just essentially traps. But we're going to be running past this area here. As you can see, there's a little yellow flashing marker on the map. That just shows where notes and things are. The notes will kind of tell you where you need to go throughout the game, but we're going to be bypassing all of them because, well, all of them besides like one. Get up and close and personal. Gotta take down this bug nest. Yeah. So the note that was in the thing back there basically says like, oh, hey, I lost my lighter. It sucks that I think one of the bugs took it, and you just gotta find the nest and get the lighter back. So yeah, we're gonna run back and use the lighter to light a lamp, which then kind of signals to another group of people that, hey, there's somebody else out here. Gonna run inside, grab some safety spinach. Come on. Light the lamp. Alright. So now we're gonna go try and find those other people. Come on. Yeah, there's a noise. Alrighty. So yeah, you do have a little, if you're on easy mode, I think it's just on easy mode, but it might be on normal too. There's a little bit of health regeneration, so you'll probably see me just try and shrug off some attacks and whatnot. But that's just because I'll get some of it back at least. There is a heart-shaped mushroom that you can find that increases your max health. I don't think I'm going to bother going for that this time around, but we'll see. Yeah, so here we are. We're going to encounter our first two other characters.
In English,
It's Lynn and Harry. Basically, Lynn's family is rich and paid Harry and some other people to do like an expedition to the ruins that are in this area. That'll kind of come in or be important later, but for right now, we're just running off. Basically, Harry says, "Oh, hey, I can't leave from this area until you bring me my super important weapon," and then we'll see what that is in a second here. I went the wrong, well, not the wrong way. I went the long way around. That's okay.
It reminds me of Silent Hill.
Oh yeah, especially with the 5 feet of visibility.
Yeah.
So we're getting the super secret weapon. Oh look, it's bug spray. That's not going to help much with the praying mantises. Off we run. And then it's still amusing that it's called Escape from Bug Island when, as you'll see, there are just a lot more than just bugs, but I suppose it'd be kind of awkward if they said Escape from Giant Gorilla, Lizard Woman, Bug Island, or something. But we're going to stop back, try and say hi to Harry and Lynn. But it turns out that they're under attack. So they run off, and we just fight a giant gorilla for no reason. He doesn't like getting hit in the face, so we're gonna do that. I'll try to. After you do, oh no, come on. There we go, okay. But yeah, after you do a certain amount of damage to him, he'll run to a tree and shake it, bugs will fall down, he doesn't care for that. You just have to do that 3 times and then he runs off. So let's get going here. There we go, second time. Yep, there goes me, okay. And that got a bug on me. Okay. So one more time and then he should be good. There we go. Okay. So spoiler, during the time when the gorilla appeared, he also killed Harry. So Harry's dead now. Surprise. Yeah, so we're gonna run off, ignore Harry's corpse, and off to the next area. So when the game was brought over to the US, they added a bunch of, well, 3 different like missions that you can do in each area. Those weren't in the original Japanese version. All that they do is give you purple gems for completing them. Unfortunately, there is no like bonus for 100% or anything. The purple gems, what they do is unlock certain items throughout the area. Basically, if you see like a purple flashing icon on the map, that's a purple gem unlock item. You can get up to 9,999 of them. The best item, if I remember correctly, is a scythe, which does quite a bit of damage. But yeah. Nope, I did not mean to do that. So I get for scratching my face on a motion controlled game. But yeah, so the purple gems are kind of nifty if you're going for like a New Game Plus setup or something. They're good to have. So we got some caterpillars showing up now. They're fairly easy to get away from. But yeah, I don't know what it was about the game, but when I first got it, there wasn't any guides or anything out there. So I ended up like becoming obsessed with the game for a while and wrote the first strategy guide for it. And until this day, I still have no idea about some of the things in the game. But I have a feeling there's just going to be some mysteries that aren't resolved because I can't figure it out and no one else gives a crap about the game. So we're going to come across our first like real motion thing here. Balancing beams. See my shaky hands. But yeah, you just hold the Wii Remote horizontally and you rotate it just to stay in lines there. But in this case, we're going to do the opposite. Okay, so we throw ourselves over the edge, just so we can get this, which you can barely see. It's a sickle, is a required item. There are two different types of vines on the island. The sickle cuts down one, the machete cuts down the other. Sickle, yeah, we'll be equipping it in a little bit here, but just gotta climb back up. Alrighty, so back to the balancing. And it's just another one of those things where the the notes tell you where to go, but we're just bypassing them. If you get to the one in the shack up here, if I remember correctly, it says something along the lines of like, oh, I tried crossing that balancing beam, but I dropped my sickle. That sucks. So you just gotta go back and get it.
So how long have you been speedrunning this?
The actual speedrunning not too terribly long. Well, I shouldn't say that. It's been an off and on thing. I went at it for like a month or so, a long time ago. Got the world record, and then once it got taken back, then I just kind of said okay, and never tried again. So.
Right. And you said it's a Wii game?
Yep.
Interesting. Exclusively for Wii?
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I'm guessing because of the motion control. Yeah, you could probably strip that out though, but yeah, as far as I'm aware, it wasn't for anything else.
Oh, do you even have motion control? Are you using it right now?
No. Motion control is for the balancing, aiming, and then any attacks that you do. Plus, you can also use it in the menus and stuff if you wanted, but...
Right.
So, just gonna equip the sickle and the insecticide. The insecticide spray is kind of handy. Oh, take that, but yeah, vines are in the way. There we go. So, just waggling my arms. In the next area, you'll see why the insecticide is handy. There are flies that kind of buzz around you, and if you take too long to get rid of them, they stop you in your tracks. And if you're crossing a balancing beam, they'll knock you down. Okay, so I'll see another giant gorilla. Thankfully this time we can just try and sneak past him. Oh, okay. So yeah, here are the bugs. Or the flies, rather. The hope is to be able to try and knock down multiple of them at once. Sometimes it goes your way, sometimes it doesn't. Frogs are jerks. They try and hit you, obviously, but we're just running. We vaguely know where we're going, so leave me alone, fly, please. If you're crossing a beam and the flies come at you, normally you're fine. But if you have one that's following you before you start going over a balancing thing, that's when it can get bad. Okay, so just running along. Gonna switch to the rocks and do our first little bit of throwing. Well, second little bit, I guess. We had to knock down that nest earlier, but yep, crap. I was not paying attention where I was going. Little bear traps. Okay. So, throw some rocks, knock that over. Come on, there we go. Okay. So, back to the insecticide. Yeah, if you set things from your menu, you can swap between them on the fly. There's a little bit of delay while they load in each of the items into your hand, but it doesn't take too long, as you can see. Ah, frog, really? Okay. And then normally if you just book it across this, the flying fish will leave you alone. There we go. Got some more flies coming up. And some more frogs. No thanks. Ah, crap. Frogs gotta be bullies. Okay, so yeah, that's what happens normally when you're surrounded by flies. You can use melee attacks to knock them out of the air as well. Oh, there's just so many. Okay. So. Okay, fly's gone. There we go. So that should be the last bridge that we need to make. And we are leaving. Back to the insecticide, because we're going to be, of course, seeing some more flies. Thankfully, flies are pretty much only in this area, and one more in terms of like actually being a nuisance. There's a part in the final area where, of course, you're trying to escape, and they just keep surrounding you. It's an incredible pain in the butt. Usually during that time, I just try and keep running and hope for the best, but that's okay. So, off we go, and we should be coming up to the end of the area here. Hello, little spider. Leave me alone, little spider. Alright. So the very first thing that we're going to skip is hearing our friends screaming for their lives. Fun, fun. So So we're gonna try and catch up with them. Both Mike and Michelle are at a bridge at the top of this area, being attacked by a giant spider. Ray, of course, doesn't know that that's happening, but that's okay. He doesn't need to know until we get there. So the gorilla that I just passed, he's a jerk, and he will throw rocks at us, but they're pretty easy to avoid. You can see where they're landing. No thanks. And for some reason they make you step 5 feet ahead just to show you a new cutscene. But yeah, this introduces the bomb ants. You can knock them unconscious and then chuck them like they were a grenade, but we're not going to bully the ants, because that takes time. And storyline wise, if I remember correctly, there's a note that says somewhere along the lines of like, oh, the special sap on the trees near here causes them to explode or something, but we don't like reading. Not quite. She was not dead, just temporarily unconscious. By the time that we get up there, she'll be gone. No, dagnabbit. Ant, I was trying to leave you all alone. Trying not to bully the ants, and they're bullying me. Until I go and destroy their nest. But, you know, whatever. There we go. Obviously, if you're too close to it, that's not good. You don't take a whole lot of damage on easy mode, but just trying to avoid it anyways. So here we come across the bridge that I was talking about. We're going to see that Mike is barely hanging on, but by this time, yeah, he's still there technically, but come on, you know, guys. Just trying to kill your parents, that's all. So, at this point, we just have to knock down the spider. We don't actually fight it at this point. Come on, leave me alone. Sorry if my breath is, or my speaking is weird, because I'm waving my arms like a madman. There we go. Knock the spider over. Try and save Mike. Mike dies. Okay, goodbye. Alright, skippy, let's keep going. Okay, gotta switch back to the sickle. So, I'm gonna come here, read the only actual required note as far as I remember. It says, oh hey, I've been looking for my girlfriend. She's a lizard woman now. I don't know if we can handle this.
Tasty island cuisine.
And we're gonna go see possibly his girlfriend? I don't know. So, all that we need to do here is kill exactly one of them and run away. There was a group of instant death flies covering this entire area. So basically you kill one of the lizard women, lure that group of flies away so you can get past. And then we book it. Some more notes reveal that, hey, I lost the key to the chest over here. So, guess where we're going. Yeah, thankfully the game is relatively lenient, or not like lenient, but they do try and tell you most things that you need to know through the notes, so you're not really like super stuck in any areas. But right next to where that note was, there was a locked suitcase. So go back there to get that unlocked. And you can possibly see there's like a red glow on the map where you need to go. Sometimes, it's not always there, but it's there often enough to help out. They're going to block my path, aren't they? Feeling that's a yes. Okay, so we got the machete and the barn key, obviously. Oh, hey. Sometimes they'll just be standing in the doorway. It takes time. But yeah, so the machete we will be ignoring for right now. As I mentioned before, it's useful for cutting down the heavy vines. We're not going to really need to be doing much attacking for a while. So let's just get across here. We'll get to the barn that we just got the key for. Hopefully avoiding more bear traps. Good. Okay, there's Lynn getting attacked by lizard women. Sucks to be her. Off we go. Okay, so here we encounter the sandworm. You can try and actually fight the sandworm here if you want. Doesn't do you a lick of good, so we're not going to. Oh hey, look, there's Lynn. She was rescued by a mystery man. They just got eaten by the sandworm, so yeah, sandworm's gonna leave us alone now. I literally walked into that one. But yeah, even if you defeat the sandworm here, that doesn't change. It just comes back, kills the both of them, and then yeah. So everyone that you now know is dead. Aside from Michelle, she is gone. Alright, so here we're gonna encounter our last main normal enemy type. It is the Dogman. And they are super obnoxious. It's usually not worth it to try and kill them just to, or in terms of running. Normally in a casual, they're actually pretty easy to go through. It's just time consuming. But hey, thankfully that one left me alone. Normally he'd still be following me to this point. So yeah, this is a little bit of a maze. There are some sections, unfortunately, where if you use the light, you'll summon the instant death insects, so you don't want to do that. So we're just running around a maze in the dark. This woman, I'm really surprised. Like, normally both of the dogmen follow you up until the point where you see the lizard woman. They both left me alone, surprisingly enough. If only I could get that lucky next time around. Alrighty, so yeah, and for the dogmen and the lizard woman, they don't really offer any explanation. There's that one note from the previous people that tried exploring the island where he says that he thinks his girlfriend turned into one of the lizard women, but they don't really like tell you if that's true or if they offer any explanations or anything. It's just they're there, which is kind of nice about the game. They don't try and like over-explain everything. It's just, hey, you're on this island. there's bad stuff, get away. But we'll be coming across our last dogman for right now here. Leave me alone. Wow, damn. Yeah, this has actually been pretty lucky so far. Sometimes they'll just hound you to the end of the earth. So, we are out of the caverns.
Don't jinx it.
Yeah, I probably screwed myself, but that's okay. And the plus side, this game is fairly forgiving. If you end up dying through like any means, losing health or falling off of something into a pit or whatever else, you can retry from the same stage. It counts against your total score at the end, but we're not bothering with total score, so it's all good. So yeah, we're just gonna run over here. I think I'm just gonna fight all of them. It's probably quicker than trying to suffer through it. Come on. Whatever. So yeah, these nests can actively spawn new praying mantises, so let's not have that happen. Oh, I left you alone. Get out of here. Okay. So, another one of the notes inside the ruins tells you about the blade out here, but we don't need to worry about it. Alright, so we're going to run in here, grab an optional weapon. It is pretty handy though, so let's see, two-handed lance. Let's get out of there. So Michelle came in here, passed out on one of the beds, and then she immediately ran off again. I don't remember the reasoning for her running off repeatedly, but yeah, so she's gone. She ran outside, saw a giant gorilla, got scared, ran into a cave. So we're gonna do the same, except for the get scared part. I know you're there, gorilla. You leave me alone. So yeah, we're just going to run past him. So, we got some purple fragments for getting the lance. Doesn't really matter, because we're not going to bother with any of that stuff. Not going to save.
Do we have some time?
Yes.
Okay, we currently have no new donations tracked, but I just want to let you guys know that we have a slight schedule change. Instead of Children having a full 3 mini marathon or game marathon here, Tempest Man is actually going to play Sega Sonic the Hedgehog right after this run, so it's going to be a 15-minute run, or estimate at least. So Chill will have a moment to chill for a little bit after this run. That's all. Please continue.
Sounds good. So yeah, we did just see, or end up picking up Michelle's notebook. It talks about the caves that we're in. They're known as the Caves of Time. And basically, yeah, it's just like a legendary place where Beelzebub lives. So, yeah, so we're gonna go see, hang out with Beelzebub a little bit. Hopefully avoid some bugs, don't avoid some bugs, whatever. This is gonna suck. Yep. Oh, okay. Just jump right over me. No, oh, come on. Whatever. Alright. So, Michelle is currently getting attacked by bugs. We're going to go into first person mode. Get rid of those. It's a lot easier than trying to melee them all down. So now here comes the most annoying part in the entire game. So Michelle will follow you, but she constantly has coughing fits because the fumes in the cave are not good. So I'm going to try and see if this works. It seems like if you get too far away from her, she'll have a coughing fit. Yep, here we go. Here's me getting attacked by spiders. Come on. And of course, she moves incredibly slowly. But I'm not sure. I think it's if she gets surrounded by too many bugs or if you get too far away.
Oh no, escort mission.
Thankfully, it's pretty short. Come on. No. Yeah, I wish I knew what was going on here. As far as I know, nobody's found out. Just get mauled here. Come on. Come on. Let's go. Oh yeah, okay, so I did totally jinx my luck, because normally it's not nearly this bad. It's literally just one room. Come on.
She's really coughing.
Yeah. Alright, so now we should be good. See a mystical glowing pool. Come on. Let me see this giant, ominous looking sign over here. Come on. Michelle, pick up the pace. Alright. So we come here, Beelzebub erupts from the wall and kills Michelle. The end. So, yeah. Since the cave is known as the Cave of Time, there's some BS going on with it. After Michelle gets killed, you get knocked into the glowing pit from earlier, and you wake up 30 minutes earlier.
How did you save Michelle in 30 seconds?
From the bugs.
Oh, makes sense.
Alright, so we have Michelle's key now, since she gave it to us before she died. So I don't need to worry about the controls. Thank you. Alright, gonna do a little bit of equipment navigation here. Change our light over. So now we got a chest light, which means we can use two-handed weapons and still have a light available. Okay, cool. Come on. There we go. So, off we go. So yeah, as odd as it is, I normally hate games that make you do like time loops or do the same thing over and over, but for whatever reason, this game, I like quite a bit still. Yeah, so we're gonna go through. It's not exactly the same this time around. There are some different areas that we're gonna be encountering since we have the machete, but a good chunk of it's gonna be similar at least. Alrighty, here we go. Gonna see some more flying fish coming up. Okay, so once we get done here, we'll be heading back to the grove. Harry and Lynn will still be alive this time around, so that's kind of a plus, I guess. Okay. So we're gonna get back here. Instead of having to go through the shenanigans with getting the light lit and getting the lighter and all that stuff, we can just go directly to where Harry and Lynn were. So it's a much shorter section at least. And then after that is the only real like time save trick in the game. I ended up finding it out a little while back at least. But yeah, it's currently used in the world record. I'm gonna see if I can get it. Basically, once you get over here, they ask you to go take care of the nest anyways that's down there. But we are going to try and cheese it.
Try explaining it in English.
Same conversation. Except Ray's sitting there confused. Okay. So we turn the light on. Let's get over here. We'll see if this works. There we go. Normally you'd have to go all the way down the hill, destroy it, go all the way back, but we're not going to do that. Took a little longer than I was hoping, but...
I did it! I took care of everything. You guys...
Yep. So Harry is still being grabbed by the gorilla. We're just going to shoot him in the face. Harry survives this time around, and we run off. Now I'm turning my light back off. Don't feel like getting harassed by awful bugs.
Oh wow, I was about to ask, is the game really that bright, or does the light really just make everything so bright in the environment?
Yeah, the light really does help, but there's always just so many drawbacks to it. Yeah, because if you don't have the light on and you're in an area where the instant death flies would appear, they'll just immediately appear and kill you.
Yeah.
So normally you can kind of see where the swarms are, but there you have it. Come on. Okay. But yeah, it can just be a pain sometimes. So I just always crank up the brightness and go from there. So I think the recommended, or the default brightness is like 3 out of 10. just gonna be doing more of the same. Obviously we can bypass falling to our doom and picking up the sickle. And then once we get to the end here again, this is where we cut down the small ivy with the sickle. We're just going to be cutting down big nabbit. Thicker ivy with the machete, of course. Come on, leave me alone. But yeah, the second time around, there's usually stronger bugs, things in different places. Like this area is going to be completely covered in traps. Come on. There we go. Really? Just to be replaced. Alright, let's keep moving. You definitely don't want to fall down there this time, because the caterpillars can just kind of lock you in place. Or at least bully you a little bit more than the grasshoppers can. So, we're running away. And if I had enough purple gems, this is where the first purple gem item, I'm pretty sure, appears. But we're not going to bother with it. Some of the earlier stuff is kind of useless, like a grenade. Which, I mean, would sound like it'd be useful, but most of the enemies aren't worth throwing a grenade at. So off we go. Here's where our first, well actually pretty much the only path split is. Storyline wise, since we're taking this path, we're going to be reaching the bridge where, oh, come on, where Mike and Michelle were earlier, so we can actually try and save them this time around, assuming I don't get my feet caught in more bear traps. Wiggling like a crazy man. Come on. I appreciate if you all leave me alone. Alright, that was a lot of health lost, unfortunately, but we'll slowly be regaining it. Yeah, the noises for the larger bugs are definitely weird. A giant spider, when you fight it, just sounds like a giant bird as well. Actually, no, yeah, going crazy. There we go. So, one over here. Oh, please. That is not big map. Alright. Getting a little mixed up here. That's my own fault. And into the trap. Come on. I should have picked this one up. There are some glowing areas over here that, if I remember correctly, are traps. That should be the right one. Very tense garbage sifting.
Oh my god, make it bug ladies.
Alright, off we go. Got the key we needed.
Question for chat. Have you guys ever played this game? Because I think I watched one speedrun of this game in one of the other speedrun events. Other than that, this is my first time actually playing this.
Yeah, oddly enough, the last one that you saw might have actually been my run of the last one.
Could have been, yeah. Not gonna lie though, it looks really interesting. I really like the Silent Hill vibe of the foggy and the poor draw distance. It just makes the atmosphere so well.
Yep. Okay, sorry, back on track. We are back to the top of the hill now where the bridge is. Like I said, storyline-wise, we managed to catch up to everyone. I'm just gonna shoot this nest, because that's what people do. Well, no, people actually shoot the nest. I'm failing miserably here. Come on. Off to a good start. Alright, so we got the Molotov cocktails. I don't remember how they tell you that you're supposed to know how to do this. I think it's during one of the cutscenes, but we're skipping them. But anyways, so since the spider is still hanging off the bridge, we are going to try and aim and tick it off by burning its nest. Or trying to. It's not too far away. There we go. Squished. Normal spider noises.
Getting weaker.
Whatever. I'm gonna heal myself because this might go poorly otherwise. Spinach. There we go. So the spider is dead. We got there in time to save our buddy. The bridge didn't collapse. Everyone's happy. He gives us a shotgun for our troubles, and for whatever reason, the combination to his little suitcase that is back here I don't know why they couldn't have just given you all the items at once, instead of making you run 30 feet back just to run 30 feet forward. But, whatever. So, got that. And off we go. So, just gonna go in here. And since we have everything that we need, we can actually just bypass this entire area. Just run right through it. No, I would not like to save. Yes. Yeah. Oh, come on. There you are. No thanks. Same thing still applies though. We gotta kill one of them to get the bugs out of here. Bridge crossing here. Different bear traps, different areas. That's it. Oh hey, look, Lynn's getting attacked again. Alright, so this time we're actually going to fight this thing. I'll save Lynn and the mystery guy from before. His name is Robert. Let's try and hang out over here. There actually is a cliff in the lower left, I believe. Come on. Come on. Whatever. There we go. So that is dead. And off we go. But yeah, there's a cliff in the bottom left part that you can actually blow up one of the anthills, and if the sandworm is on it, it'll fall off the cliff and die as well. You get some bonus points for it, but it's a pain to pull off and not quicker in the slightest, so we don't usually do that.
Wait, that was it? That was the entire fight?
Yep. The I was gonna say,
expecting some kind of a long fight there.
yeah, no, that's the boss. Well, there are 3 bosses, I guess, technically. The other 2 are actually like actual boss fights, but that one's easy peasy. Yeah, the anthills do a crap ton of damage to it, thankfully. Because if you can't one cycle it, then it takes forever to pop back underground and then pop back up, and it's just unpleasant.
Right, makes sense.
So, layout's exactly the same here, of course. So, I am gonna make one detour this time. Pick up an extra health item just in case I need it later. I don't feel like getting stuck on the bosses, and this isn't a world record attempt, so. Yeah, unfortunately for me, the boards are timed by real time, not in-game time. Oh, come on, let me through. Because I believe my old record. It's not on the boards anymore, but I think that still has the faster in-game time, but it's all good. Okay, let's see if they show up. Yep. So those are the flies that we're trying to avoid. Oh crap, crap, crap. Okay, never mind. I screwed myself over. Bad idea. I was trying to showcase something and now they're after me. That was actually where I needed to go. I should have done that after I picked up the item. Whatever. I was not thinking about it. Yeah, come on. Don't be rude. Okay. So off we go. Pretty much have 3 stages left. And they're all relatively short. Okay. So again, since we hightailed it and we got here technically faster than we did last time, Michelle is currently in here. She is alive. And then the exact same thing happens anyways, so whatever. Here we meet Robert for the first time. Well, technically the second time. And then, hey, Robert's dead. Sucks to be Robert.
I'll call for a helicopter. You bring her back.
So Michelle ran off, Robert's dead. As I mentioned before, the fumes from the cave are not good for you, and Robert is a good explanation as to why that is. So the gorilla shows up again. It's time for the final confrontation with him. Ah, come on. I just hope I can keep him in place, because he can run around quite a bit. Nope, unfortunately you cannot save Robert. He has been on the island for far too long. He was one of the first people exploring it. And yeah, he's just hosed. No, 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 don't throw a rock, please. Do I really need to? Yeah, I might as well use a healing item. Alright, so the girl runs off and ends up killing itself. Alright, off we go. Yeah, it ends up knocking down a pillar that knocks the statue down on top of it, so it is dead. Is Popeye spinach. Okay, so now I'm regretting not getting that item, but We'll make it work. Oh, hey, for some reason Mike had a gas mask with him. Still have no idea why, but at least we have the gas mask on now.
So, if there's anyone currently looking to learn this run, are there any guides or where would you look any information about this game?
There's a few regular guides. I don't think there's one specifically dedicated for speedrunning, unfortunately. But yeah, there's the guide that I wrote over a decade ago on game FAQs, and then there's some other ones that have pictures and stuff included with them. As I mentioned, I don't think anything really new has come out since I wrote the original one, so there could be some stuff, but nothing I'm aware of. But some people tend to not care for my writing style, so if that's the case, then I certainly encourage people to look up other stuff at least.
Right.
Come on. Let's see. But yeah, the game itself actually isn't too bad, so if you are watching like a record run or something, most of it should be there. Alright, so we find Michelle, and then we find Beelzebub. Let's go see if we can beat Beelzebub. Okay, let's see that start. Come on. That's the second of it. Oh, hey, cool. I was kind of worried I was going to die there. But Beelzebub relinquishes Michelle. And then guess who we have to escort? Come on. Yeah, I really wish someone would be able to figure out what actually triggers her to start coughing, if there's anything, or if it is just truly RNG. Because this is the absolute worst part of the entire run. Come on. Thankfully, we only need to get her to this point. Okay. So, no saving. Off we go. Alright, so we got a bunch of cutscenes to skip through. Basically, Lynn lived up to her promise. She got a helicopter, but oh, of course the helicopter can only fit everyone besides one person. So Ray volunteers to go back to the beginning of the game and hop on the boat and take off on his own there. Going to just like hang on to the feet of the plane or the helicopter or anything. I would just tie myself to it. So much skipping. Alright, off they go. And off I go. Oh, hey, look, there's Robert's body. I hope he doesn't turn into a giant insect or anything. So here's, like, the worst part of this. I'm going to actually take it slow, just because I don't have much health. Normally I would try and run past everything, but that's not happening, so...
Getting weaker.
Come on, leave me alone. So, this is the beach from the very beginning of the game. Thankfully, they don't make you walk all the way back. Although, honestly, I wouldn't have been surprised if they did. But I've gone through the game twice already. Why not a third time? Probably tell why I run past all this. It's unpleasant. Alright, let's see how poorly this goes.
Tasty island cuisine. I should slow down.
I'm so happy about it.
Oh, really? Well, that was unlucky. Purple mushrooms can do a few different effects. Unfortunately, this one was bringing me down to 1 HP. So that was unpleasant. Get me back here. Coward. Get near that. Yeah, the thing that he's doing right now, just obviously you don't want to do that.
Maybe I should eat something.
I'd love to eat something, right? But it's not happening. Let's see if I can do this without having to restart the fight. So that would be unpleasant, but that's why I gave myself some extra time. Also help with the extra game. There we go. Sweet. That is time. Oh, darn. I wrong button, but 1:15-ish.
GG.
Thanks. At least I was underestimate this time. Last time I ran for this, it did not go well.
Way underestimate. How do you feel about it?
Good-ish. I might actually start picking this back up again after all of this, but yeah,
Michelle, wait.
went pretty well.
Any-
oh, go ahead.
Any shout outs you want to do right now, or are you going to leave them for the rest of the runs?
I think I'll leave them for the rest. Did just want to point out one thing from the game, though. The game does technically have 2 endings that I'm aware of. I don't know what triggers the alternate part of it, though. Because there's this ending where you just drive off in the boat and everything's fine, and then there's one where they add like an extra 2 seconds where Ray ends up like looking towards the camera and coughing, and as he's coughing you see that Robert's still alive, like on the back of the boat. And I don't know what causes it, but I've only seen it on like a New Game Plus setup. So
Alright, well, thank you very much for that run. Next in line we have a slight schedule change. Tempest Mask will be doing Sega Sonic the Hedgehog. It's a 15-minute estimate run, so instead of having all these 3 chill mini marathon runs in a row, we're going to have a small little run in the middle of them. So, do you have anything else to add, Jill, before we go?
no, I think we should be good.
Alright, well in that, we're just going to have a little short break here and going for the intermission, so stay tuned guys, we'll be right back.